Okay, so here we have a walk-in freezer that's frozen, full of ice. Might be a fan motor or a defrost timer issue. But in the back, it's actually not frozen too bad in the back. Or possibly it could be a clogged drain. It could be a drain line issue. That the drain line heater is not working. But I'm gonna melt some of the. I'm gonna get all this ice off, and then we'll see what's going on. And I'll get back to you. I gotta go to the roof, check the timer, see what's going on. All right. Okay, so far I got a little bit of the ice off. I'm gonna take this fan guard off. I gotta get all that ice back in there. But I noticed this expansion valve was a little bit oily. So while I was melting it, the ice, I hit this with bubble solution, and I see the expansion valve, the outlet is bubbling. So I'm gonna tighten that up, see if I can get it to stop. And continue defrosting this coil. This is my first time at this account, so I mean, I don't want to, I gotta talk to them about pricing and stuff like that. So let's see. Oh, it looks like both are leaking. The inlet also, you can see a little bubble there, and then more up top. So probably whoever did this. Oh wow, and there. I don't know if they over tightened it, or hopefully it's not tightened enough, but let's see. I'm gonna tighten it up and see what I can do. Alright. Okay, so I melted all the ice off the evap coil. So now here I'm checking out the condenser. Obviously it's low on refrigerant because you see the bubbles in the sight glass. You can see it racing by. Low on gas. I'm just checking my temperature split across that liquid line filter dryer. Monitor the head pressure and so I'm just going to check amperage, set my defrost timer back to the right time. Somebody's eliminated the X terminal. The purpose of that X terminal there in the corner is you have a sensor on the evap coil. When it senses there's no more ice and it's heating up the evap coil, hold on. It'll kick the timer out of defrost. Maybe the timer's set for, let's say, 45 minutes, and after 30 minutes, all the ice is defrosted. What'll happen is the evap coil will start to heat up, and it'll send power to this X, and it's going to energize the solenoid in the back, and it's going to kick it out of defrost until it can go back into cool mode. But since that sensor, since that terminal is not hooked up, right now it's set for 30 minutes. That means it's going to stay in defrost for the whole 30 minutes, even if there's no ice on the coil. So you really don't want that, because then also you get a lot of condensation on the ceilings from extended defrost periods. A lot of the ice that melts, it'll start to steam, and it's going to condense on the cold ceiling of the walk-in box. And then a lot of times when you walk in a walk-in freezer, you see the ceiling full of droplets of ice. It's because they don't have the X wire hooked up. The fan delay could also be bad. So when the fan kicks on, it blows all the condensation off the coil and right onto the fan guards and on the ceiling of the walk-in box. So that's a sign that your fan delay slash termination, the combination switch that has both of those features built in, usually that's bad. So I got the customer coming up, so I gotta stop recording. Alright, so I'm parked here on the side here. Just gonna give you an update on the walk-in freezer. The customer came up, so I couldn't continue to record. But basically the evap coil was frozen because it was low on refrigerant, so the unit will run all the time. It would never reach a set point. So due to the leak on the TXV, so I tightened those connections. It wasn't leaking anymore. I gassed it up. That system has a lot of issues. The TXV, the sensing bulb wasn't insulated. Also, the door gasket is in bad shape on that freezer. A couple of the wiring connections in the evap coil were rusty and kind of loose, so I tried to tighten them. But I think they're on a budget, and kind of sucks working for customers like that because you can't really fix things right. You know, they always want to put things off, but they don't understand, you know, everything has to be working properly as a whole system, you know, for it to be working, for the whole system to be working properly, you know. But they think you're just trying to sell them something, you know, but it's freezing, you know, it's keeping the product frozen. Yeah, it's keeping the product frozen, but it could operate more efficiently, you know, with a good door gasket. You don't have so much humidity and moisture going inside that freezer. You know, stuff like that. So I'm gonna put a picture. I'm gonna try to put a picture of the evaporator when I started to defrost it. I like to use a pump sprayer with hot water to defrost my evap coils. And what you want to do is, I'll put a picture. I'm gonna try. I think I can figure it out how to post the picture in the video. But anyways, what you want to do is you want to cut when you're melting the evap coil, it's best if you can cut the coil in chunks with the hot water. And that way you're gonna, once you cut it in chunks, you can actually remove the chunks of ice. If you sit there and try to melt the whole coil, actually melt it with hot water, you're gonna be there for a long time. So sometimes you gotta use your head a little bit. You can't pull the chunks off when it's wrapped around, say, the cap tube of the TXV, or there's wiring in the middle, or it's caught up around copper tubing. You have to melt all those areas with the hot water, and then you can pull the chunks out, and it's a lot faster that way. It can be messy though. You have to make sure your drain line is clear, because the hot water, you know, the water's going to start overflowing and make water all over the floor. Then when the freezer starts to freeze, that water's going to freeze, and it's going to be like a ice skating ring on the floor. And so yeah, I was just giving you an update. The customer kind of popped up on me. I had a feeling he was going to come up there. He was hanging around the bottom of the ladder. So I just wanted to give you an update of what was going on and the outcome. So yeah, that's that. So I'm going to post this picture and see how it turns out. Alright, thanks for watching.